What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing this thing on this thing. If you're looking to buy one of these intakes, just a fair warning, these are really janky to mount with or without the Euro headlights. But especially if you have the Euro glass headlights, I would honestly recommend you don't buy this intake. There are other options like AFV, Canon, Racing Dynamics that are a shorter tube with a heat shield, but if you're gonna ignore my advice, because let's face it, this thing looks freaking sick, this is how you wanna go about installation on your BMW. So the first step for this is you are going to want to remove the factory Airbox. Normally to remove this, you would have two clips on either side, which you would take a flathead and pry out. I have zip ties because my Airbox is broken, because this is a clap E36 after all with a bunch of miles. Once you have your clips, or in my case zip ties off, you're going to take a 10 mil and you're going to take off the nuts for the Airbox by the cruise control. It's all very standard E36 fare if you're ever doing anything to the intake. This all has to come off. Alrighty, so now you have a big gaping hole in your engine bay where the Airbox was, and that's where the tube is going to slide in. If you had the US headlights, you get a little heat shield that comes with the Dinan kit, and it would kind of, if you come over here, it would sit like right in this area and the filter kind of sit down there. Unfortunately, ooh, that's hot, wow. Unfortunately, because the headlights stick out farther, the heat shield will not fit, so if you have the Euro headlights, just take that heat shield, throw it in the bin somewhere safe. You're not going to be able to use it. As well, I also recommend with filters, you do not use the Dinan blue one. I recommend you get this guy, which is just a random K9 filter. I'll put an Amazon link down below so you can go pick it up. It is much slimmer and it fits in the space a lot better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come to the headlights, and because the headlights are slim fit, you're going to have to make room for the intake. So normally the US ones have a third screw here, the Euro ones will have that. You have 1, 2, an adjuster screw down here, and you have one under here. I'm not running the one under here, but if you were gonna do it, there's a bunch of screws on here. This pops out, little shroud, and then you stick an extension down there and grab it. On this, I'm just gonna do these three, and I'm gonna pop the corner out, which comes out with a flathead screwdriver like so. There's just a little tab on here that you push, and then corner light comes out, and there is your third bolt right there, your adjuster screw. All right, everyone, so we now have the intake kind of mock fitted up in here. You can now see why this is so hard to fit in here, because there's like no room for anything. What I recommend you do for the headlight is you can either remove it, which is the easiest time, or just take the adjuster screws out and the headlight is kind of just going to sit like this. Having it sit like this is good, because then you can kind of move it around and fit with the intake. So you need the headlight kind of out so that you can have movement, and then when you're going to put it actually back together, you're going to take an adjuster screw, which I have here. You're going to kind of mock fit them up inside the holes, and then you are going to take one hand, grab the intake, and your other with the headlight, and you're going to kind of push it into place. And then while you're doing that, you're going to tighten up these screws in the process. It's kind of a hard thing, and I'm not really going to be able to show it that well on camera, but eventually you'll get to a spot where everything is kind of fitted in nicely. And just to clarify, this will never fit perfectly. You can just get it to fit good enough to where it's not really noticeable on the outside. So I'm gonna kind of mock fit this up and then kind of show you how it looks after we're done. And through the magic of video editing, we are now done. The Dinan intake is installed, and of course it looks beautiful like it always does. It's a big carbon fiber tube in place of an ugly plastic box. But we are gonna answer the third question from earlier, and that is going to be on the road. Guys, this thing, it sounds insane. Way better than the stock Airbox in my opinion. I love the sound of the colder intakes on these, and it just got such a nice growl. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let Akul drive the car, my cameraman, who you have not met, and probably won't meet until the next video. And we're gonna let him do a couple of pulls, and we're gonna listen to it from the outside, because as great as it sounds from the inside, you gotta hear it from the outside. There's just so much volume. So let's do it. Oh guys, I love hearing my car so much from the outside. The volume is just insane. Alrighty everyone, that is the end of the video. You now know how to install the Dinan intake on your E36 with the Euro glass headlights. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new. We do all sorts of innovative content, and comment down below if you have any questions. One thing I did forget to mention was well to relocate one of your horns or delete it. Dinan gives you this in the instructions if you buy an intake new. But comment down below and ask about it. I'll answer to the best of my ability if you do have any questions about it. Keep it fresh, and I will see you in the next one.